So I have a row of iPhones here and a couple more out of the frame, and we are going to discuss which ones you should wait to upgrade to the upcoming iPhone 17 series in this video. So what is up, guys? Nick here, helping you to master your technology, and the iPhone 17 Pro series is not too far away. We might even see an Air series this year, a super thin version to compete with the likes of the Samsung Galaxy S25 Edge. And in this episode, I want to talk to you about which phones are worth keeping and maybe not jumping to like a 16 Pro, Pro Max, the best they have right now, and just hold off a few more months for these upcoming editions. Now, some of you probably already have your game plan and what you want to strategize to upgrade from, but I think all of these phones we're going to show in this video will give you some substantial upgrades this year. We're going to start with the very first one, which is actually not in the frame, and that is going to be the Apple iPhone 13 Pro Max. Now, a lot of people love this device for being basically one of the best iPhones Apple has ever produced. It was definitely one of my favorite, and you've seen me definitely give this one its praise over the years, and I continue to make some content on this occasionally. The iPhone 13 Pro Max, a very beautiful stainless steel rails, very good battery life, amazing cameras, triple 12 megapixel with a 12 megapixel on the front, long battery life, big screen. But with recent updates to the iPhones, this one still doing decent with its level of RAM and its level of performance. It is not having as good a battery life as it used to have, although it's still pretty good. You're going to get a lighter phone in the new iPhone 17 Pro Max, likely with its non-stainless steel design, and you'll also get much better cameras and much longer battery life. So the 13 Pro Max is going to go first. As those of you upgrading to a new Max, you're probably going to love the upcoming editions. And here's the thing with all these phones, including the one we just talked about, the 13 Pro Max, there's going to be the Air series. So any of you who had these phones and thought, I'm tired of the heftiness, you no longer have to go down to the smaller phone coming soon. With the Air, you'll be able to stick with your big size and get the lightweight that you want on the larger device. So that's a really great thing for what's coming. Now, the next one is going to be any phone, including the iPhone 13 and before. So I'm talking iPhone 12, iPhone 11, and of course the base model iPhone 13. Now, Apple has already made some substantial upgrades to this phone, not in the 14. The 14 series to me was basically a wasted year release for this phone, as it was just basically the same exact look with a couple additions to the camera, had a slightly better battery life, but the 14 to me was kind of a wasted year. Anything prior to 13, 11, 12, 10S, 10S Max, any of those phones, of course, are going to want to be upgraded this year. The base model is finally going to make some substantial upgrades to the display. We're likely going to see the ProMotion display make its way over to the base models, and they'll probably be a bit lighter as well than the iPhone 13, these older phones for sure. Dynamic Island will be an upgrade. You can also get that now, but it's really the display smooth refresh that's going to be coming to these upcoming 17 models is going to be a substantial upgrade for those of you on 13 or 12, definitely, or even 14. So you're looking at some pretty sweet upgrades even for the base models, but the base models likely not going to be the most exciting this year. I feel like they're not always the most exciting, but definitely anything around that age might even be worth the upgrade for sure. Now, the next one is going to be one that might throw people off a bit. I'm going to call it a wild card series. And that means that it doesn't have to be upgraded, but it might be worthy if you want some substantial, maybe camera changes and stuff of that sort. And that's going to be the iPhone 15 Pro Max. Now, don't go changing this now. It would not really be worth it whatsoever, but an amazing phone still. Very fast, supports Apple Intelligence, has great camera system, lightweight design. Not the best battery life of between this and the 16 Pro Max, but still very good. However, if you love this lighter weight Max and you want something even lighter weight, you might be tempted by the Air, and you might be tempted by the upcoming additions to the 17 Pro Max or whatever they call it, the top of the line version, might be a worthy upgrade. But it's a wild card because this is not a necessary upgrade. You could probably just keep the 15 Pro Max easily for several more years to come. But I think if you skip the 16 Pro Max, they're going to improve on that. So it's like a 2-year cycle upgrade. So I don't think it'll be a bad one. You'll get a lot of money back if you sell this phone right now, and you won't have to pay too much extra for the iPhone, the next Max. As if you keep this phone, you'll probably get less and less as the years go on. Now, one I would say is not really a wild card is I would get rid of the iPhone 15 Pro, and the reason why is the smaller Pro, while it has all of the same attributes of the 15 Pro Max, sans the less zoom, I do feel like this one got too warm, and it was not the best on battery life. The main reason I would dump the iPhone 15 Pro this coming season is its battery life. While super compact, sweet size, and some people might disagree and say, I get through the day, I have no problem with the 15 Pro. That doesn't mean that it has great battery life. You're probably doing certain things, maybe not using it as much, or using some battery saving features to get the same level of battery life that someone would get on a better battery life iPhone. So for me, after testing all of these, the 15 Pro only lets me down in battery life. So does the 14 Pro. So if you have a 14 Pro, that one was even worse actually. Both of these models I think are going to be substantially nice upgrades to the 17 Pro. Even an Air, if you want to jump up in size and have a lighter weight build, you can do that, because even the smaller Pros are going to weigh more than the Air. So it'll be a good upgrade from that one. The Max is more of a wild card here though. Now, I want to move on to the next one, and we talked about this phone a few days ago. It was the iPhone 14 Pro Max. We called it a beast in 2025, and for most respects, it's built like a tank. It still is a beast. The iPhone 14 Pro Max. We do have the Space Black Edition here. Has dynamic island. Lightning port is kind of old school right there. We do have ourselves the silent switch, no action button. A little bit old school there. But generally speaking, this is a tank of a phone. And while the 15 Pro Max was obviously a better device in most respects, if you wanted that stainless steel feel, this was the last one. But I think it's time to dump this one and maybe hold on to it just until the 17 Pro Max series comes, because this phone is starting to depreciate more and more. You're not getting much more than like $500-600 for this. The longer you hold on to this, the less trade value you'll get for this. Or if you just want to sell it like third party, that's also going to be decreasing. So this is probably the ideal time to maybe consider a trade. This phone's going to be 3 years old now, and this device is not going to go in the direction of getting you more money back down the line. So if you want to go for the new iPhone, this will probably be the ideal time to trade it to get the most back that you can, while you still enjoyed many good years, almost 3. It would be 3 by the time the iPhones come, of using a great beastly phone, the iPhone 14 Pro Max. Now, this one doesn't support the Apple Intelligence, which is another reason why I would consider changing this one. And also because of its stainless steel, just like the 13 Pro Max, if you're done with the hefty feel, yes, it's a tank, yes, it's a beast, but if you're done with this and you want like a lighter metal, then you're going to get that with the upcoming Pro Max. You're also going to get better cameras by a long shot. You'll get the camera control button that came from the 16 Pro Max. You're going to get action button, fast USB-C, likely better charging than even the 16 Pro Max. This is an ideal time for this one, I feel like, for most folks. But again, most of these iPhones I'm covering here, when I make this video, don't take it like I'm saying that they're just going to stop working. No, I'm not saying they're not going to stop working. I'm saying these are the phone upgrades that I feel like you'll probably enjoy what you're getting. Now, the next one is going to probably be like, are you kidding me, bro? But honestly, I feel like some people might actually like upgrading from the iPhone 16. Yes, the base 16s, because the base 16s still had 60 hertz panels. And while they are beautiful phones, they definitely have nice color here with the ultra marine over here. This is a nice color, but at the same time, you know, we do have ourselves just a really not so exciting device. It kind of feels like the 15 And I do feel like if they just make that screen smoother, while it's probably not a necessary upgrade, again, it's just a 1 year upgrade. If you get a good amount back, you probably, if you were waiting for the 60 hertz to be upgraded, this will be the time. And that would also apply to the iPhone 16 Plus and 15 Plus. Any of the Plus models are going to probably be gone, going to the Air. These are going to be some good upgrade years as well for you. So I don't think people are going to be disappointed with dumping some of these devices as well. However, I don't see many people probably getting rid of these. They just got them. I just wanted to mention that the specs are kind of annoying, that you didn't get the 60 hertz, the 90 hertz or 120 hertz from the newer phones. So that's why I included them in there, just because these aren't like the Maxes where you really have to think, do I need the features? These, you're going to see the obvious feature changes because Apple decided to keep the promotion off of the base models for so long. So it'll be pretty noticeable, those upgrades, when it comes to the 17. So that's going to wrap it up here for me. You're pretty much only safe to not upgrade, I would say, from like the 16 Pro and Pro Max. Like those are the only ones I'm thinking are essentially like, don't do it. Like you got the best screen, you have great battery life, and I just think it's of the 16 Pro and Pro Max, like I just mentioned, that are just, those are the ones that it would be like, yeah, you probably don't need to upgrade. The rest of them I could actually justify. Surprisingly, I could actually justify it on pretty much everything I talked about today in this video. But also I could say too that you don't have to. So I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying that these are all going to be upgraded in a way that will be felt, even if you think that they all are still great, which they're iPhones. Like, come on, they are. But like, you will see some substantial changes. So stay tuned. We will be doing comparisons against all of these, and these are just some of the iPhones that we cover. I'll cover more. We'll be doing upgrades against all of them, comparisons, things of that sort. So be subscribed for iPhone season. I wanted to get this video out before, so you guys can kind of think about where you're going to be upgrading to. And also, I wanted to spur on discussion. Which iPhone are you planning on upgrade? Which iPhone do you have? And are you planning on changing to which specific model? Which one is pulling you in? You're like, I can't wait for that one to drop. Or are you the type of person who's like, nah, I'm not upgrading to any of those, bro. Like, let's talk about it. Let's discuss down below in the comments and get a thread going. I'll catch you all in the next one. Nick here. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to be well. I'll catch you in the next episode, and peace.